Alright, and welcome back to Blow Up the Team. I'm Matt, and I almost forgot how to open these videos because it's been a while. Yeah, it's weird how getting out of the swing of things, doing this every other day kind of changes your headspace about doing these. It just kind of just start to wing it a little more. Anyway, welcome back again. It's gonna be a second MLB update video. Most teams in the league are hitting the halfway point. I say most because, COVID. So the Yankees had to miss a series against the Mets, and they still have to make up some games against someone else, I think, before they hit that 30-game mark. But and the Cardinals have still only played 19 games. So it's interesting. Anyway, let's just get right into it. Yankees. Things are interesting. The Yankees seem to smurf on just about every other team they play. It's like, oh, you thought you were winning. Nah, just kidding. We have like Luke Voigt or Aaron Judge is going to go deep. And then over the course, with the exception of Tampa Bay, and starting in their first series in Tampa Bay, where they won 1-4, they were unable to. They started losing players over the course of just over a week. They've lost Aaron Judge, James Paxton, Gleyber Torres, Giancarlo Stanton. God, hold on.
Wasn't Judge activated today?
Oh, yes. That I'm just saying, like he hasn't played yet because lame.
Rain happens and Matt goes into a temporary bout of depression.
Listen, it's been 5 days.
Temporary bout of depression over here.
It is. I mean, if you want to, let me just go find the meme. I can go and post it in here. Need to go pull up.
I know you've sent it. I can just go pull it. Hold on. I'll find it. Give me a second.
Or here we go. It's oh wait, wrong chat.
I got it.
Yeah, that's been me for like. Where's the last game? Was Thursday or was it? Yeah, the last game was Thursday against Tampa Bay, and all of those games were terrible because they got swept at home by Tampa Bay. In between their two series against Tampa Bay, they swept the Red Sox in 4 games at home, and they beat the Braves in both games they played, which is technically a sweep, but I always hate calling a sweep like 2 games. Actually, no, it has been 5 days since I watched the Yankees play because it's Tuesday. Well, actually, now it's Wednesday, but that's beside the point. Anyway, yeah. So the Yankees kind of hit a slump after we last talked. They played all 4 of their games against the Phillies. They split it with them. The Phillies have been looking really good at home. Or just been looking really good since they came back from COVID. Didi's been a monster, which has been awesome. Bryce Harper has been insane, which is really great for the Phillies. Their pitching staff has been awful, but we're not going to talk about the Phillies. We'll talk about them in a second because I actually have a really funny stat about them. They had a really rough series in Tampa. They've lost a fair number. Oh yeah, so since losing Tommy Kahnle, we are not getting him for the rest of the season. Aaron Judge, Carlos Stanton, Gleyber Torres, James Paxton, Zach Britton. We got back Aroldis Chapman, and he looked great in his debut. He gave up a home run on a bad pitch, but like what I mean when he looked great, like he was hitting 101 in his first appearance out of the bullpen. The past 2 years, when he's come out of spring training, he would like struggle to hit 100 for like the first couple of weeks of the season. So that's a really good. I understand why they took so much time with him after he was cleared after COVID, just to build up his strength and let him build up because the bullpen was holding it together. Losing Zach Britton's really huge for this bullpen because he was having a pretty good season, obviously, because he's Zach Britton. The emergence, though, of probably our most dominant reliever right now, Chad Green, saying, fuck whatever the hell happened in the beginning of 2019, I'm actually a great reliever, which is great because he is. He's been insane. He has really good strikeout stuff. His velocity's there. His breaking ball is there. Like everything's there. He's easily the most reliable reliever out of the bullpen. Um, and, that's not to say like anyone in the bullpen has been particularly bad. We actually had a couple of really nice performances out of Luis Avalon before he got injured. Luis Avalon got injured. Yeah, he fell off the mound while doing his warm-up pitches. Just took a just slipped, and just fell over, and hamstring. So we actually have like 3 Yankees out on hamstrings right now, which is great.
Gleyber is out on a hamstring as well, right?
Yep, it's him, Stanton, and Britton, all hamstring.
Fun, fun, fun.
And then actually 4 because Avalon hamstring. So yeah, the Yankees pain wagon from last season continues. However, I will say this isn't just the Yankees problem. This is like all over the league. People are getting injured at like ridiculous rates this season, and it makes sense because you had less time to get ready. Because you think about it, spring training games, the pitchers go like 2 innings, the starters will go like 2 innings, and they'll throw in a couple bullpen guys, and then they'll throw in their minor leaguers. You'll get your mainstays in the lineup 2, maybe 3 at bats, depending on how the game's going. You gradually work them up. The summer camp, though it's better than no summer camp. Even it was still not long enough for them to really get themselves into full baseball activity. I mean, we saw at the beginning, for the first like 2 days, the pitchers had the clear advantage, and then the hitters have been raking since. But it's been that's kind of like the general like theory behind is that everyone was pent up in their homes for so long, even though they would work out, they couldn't really work out to a prop. There's a huge difference between working out and like actually playing the game. So that really affected them pretty poorly, and it's across the league that the injuries have been insane. The Yankees just so happen that all their injuries onto big mainstays. However, there are bright spots for the Yankees. Like I said, sweeping the Red Sox in 4 games, beating Atlanta, a really good Atlanta team, 2 games in a row. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing them play the Mets this weekend, and I think they play on Thursday. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, those should be good games for them. Hopefully. Uh, One of the big performances, and Judge is back, and Judge, can get right back to where he started, or right where he left off, fighting for the home run crown. Um, in his wake, though, Luke Voigt is finally being appreciated for how insane he's been this season. Luke Voigt currently leads has a massive slugging percentage of 696, which is ridiculous. Basically the best offense in WRC plus, which evaluates how much better a hitter is than the average hitter. Starting at a baseline of 100, that's the average hitter, and then goes up or down depending on how you're performing. He's 186. He is 86% better than the next best hitter than the average hitter in the league, and he hits for a lot of power. He's hit 10 home runs now. He'd probably be at more because he was in the middle of a hot streak. He's hitting over 300. His OPS is over 1100. Um, he's sorry. His on base percentage, he's striking out more than he was to start the season, which isn't great. But when you're hitting this many home runs and you're slugging, over 900 or over 600, are you really going to be that upset about it? No. He's putting up in numbers. You would look better if it would look even better if they had people like his RBI numbers look even better if they just had people ahead of him on base. Um, Another one I want to bring attention to, Aaron Hicks. Aaron Hicks may have a really, really hideous batting average right now. He is hitting at 209. However, he also has an on-base percentage of 369. He's almost on base as much as Luke Voigt, who's the hottest hitter on this team, because he's walked 17 times and struck out 14 times. So his eye is there. It's just about making more contact for him. But he's one of the few guys who will hit 200 and could honestly have an on-base percentage of over 400. He's got a great eye. Probably I'd say the best on the team for his walk rate. People will point to like DJ LeMahieu as having a really good eye because he doesn't strike out often, but he doesn't walk more than he strikes. He doesn't walk at the rate that Hicks does. Getting Aaron Judge back is going to be huge. He's hitting 290 with 9 home runs at 1100 OPS. He's got he's not walking, which is Definitely not something you don't want to see, but he's hitting what he's hitting. It's acceptable. Um, Garrett Cole has had his two best starts as a Yankee. He got introduced to the rivalry by hitting, I think, by pitching 7 or 8 innings. It was against Boston, and he pitched easily. He pitched pretty well in Tampa Bay. Actually, was it Tampa Bay? No, it was not. I don't remember. I think it was Tampa Bay. Hold on. There we go. Just look and can't find it. Anyway, um, so he's been looking really great. Paxton is, unfortunately, right as he's starting to solve things, he pitched 7 innings in Tampa Bay. Gave up 3 runs, but really it was more because Boone didn't take him out when he should have. But he put up 7 innings, 3 runs, excellent. His velocity starting to go up. His breaking ball is starting to break. He's starting to show. Right as he started to show lots of improvement, that happens. Jay Happ pitched very well, but it was against Boston, who was actually the worst team in the league. Maybe not the league. I think the Pirates had that arm. But they're the second worst team in the league. Oh wait, the Angels might be worst. They're one of the bottom 3 teams of the league, is what I'm trying to say. So hopefully the Yankees come to their senses and call up Clark Schmidt or something, or get Davy Garcia up. They have really good pitching prospects just waiting to be called up, and so that's going to be something they really need, especially going into a doubleheader against Atlanta, and then multiple doubleheaders against the Mets. That's going to be a really testing time for the team. But that's really it for the Yankees. The offense continues to click despite the injuries. It's really about getting the pitching under control and stopping the injury train. So, let's go next. Blue Jays. Blue Jays have been performing significantly better lately. In the last 10, they're 7 of 3. Sorry.
God bless you.
They're currently sitting at 500. They're 14 and 14. Basically, everything's kind of been working out better for them. Their offense is starting to wake up. Their pitching is pitching better. They've had an insane performance from Sal Romano out of the bullpen so far. He's been pitching extremely well for them. AJ Cole, who was very much under the radar, has pitched in 13 games already and has a 1.32 ERA. So the Vlad Guerrero Jr. train is starting to pick up. His below 200 batting average has picked up again to 245, starting to pick the ball off the ground a little more. They've also had Brandel Grichuk hitting really well for them. Teoscar Hernandez, of all people, is up there in the top run. He's tied at the number 1 with 11 home runs. So the offense has really been clicking. They're starting to get better pitching performances as well from Hyunjin Ryu. And really, things have just been overall on this team looking significantly better. Everyone's starting to perform a little more. And in some cases, like AJ Cole and Randall Grichuk are outperforming themselves, which is really promising for this team. And in this, if we're going to get 16 teams, the Blue Jays have a chance to make the playoffs this year. So, anyway, next. Well, Tampa Bay.
It was fighting with me. I'm sorry.
Tampa Bay, after sweeping the Yankees, and then after the Yankees had all their games canceled, and they got to play Baltimore. Tampa Bay hasn't really looked back. They only have a 1-game lead in the division race because the Yankees haven't been able to play games, but they've been looking fairly good. They won against Baltimore tonight. They basically looked significantly better since they got swept by Baltimore to start the season. Well, early in the season, I'd say, not to start the season. They massacred the Red Sox at home. I give you the score: 8-7, 8-2, 9-5, 17-8. So it wasn't even close. They split their recent series to Toronto. They won tonight against Baltimore. Overall, the team's looking really solid. They have a good balanced offense and a very plus bullpen. Despite Tyler Glasnow's unsightly 5.14 ERA, he continues to strike batters out, let a lot of batters out, and as his outings get longer, those numbers will start to look better. And overall, the team's in a very comfortable spot. It's really going to be a race between them and the Yankees. If this was a 162 game season, I would expect the Rays to, I'd expect the Rays to maybe not be able to hold on to the league. But with only 60 games and only 30 more games to play only 29 games for them, there is a chance that they could end up winning the division. Going next, the Baltimore Orioles. Speaking of teams that still have a chance to make the playoffs, they're 14 and 15, so they're only one game under 500. However, as of late, they are playing like a team that is rebuilding. They are 3 and 7 over the last 10. They are continuing to not look so great after tonight's loss. However, they did play pretty well against Boston at home. They beat the Red Sox. During one of the broadcasts, I don't know why, I got a bunch of random like Orioles ship posters on Twitter. The Red Sox booth, I don't remember if it was last year in 2018, said about the Orioles. I don't understand how it's got to be rough being an Orioles commentator. It's hard to watch. And so they said the exact same. They quoted him word for word, saying the exact same thing about the Red Sox this past time around, which was a lot of fun. And then they lost to. They took a loss. The Red Sox got dominated by an 85-mile-an-hour heater out of Tom Eshelman, which was probably one of the best, just general shit posts I've seen in a while. Yeah, that's really it for this team. If this team does anything to make this continues down this path, it won't be it'll be disappointing because you started off so hot, but it won't be shocking. Rio Ruiz continues to lead the offense, and if this team continues to outperform, there's a chance, obviously. However, they're starting to play that team they're supposed to, and overall, those fans, even though it's probably not postseason time for you guys, this is a really promising step for you guys because you still have a stacked farm system. Going next. Yuck. You're 10 and 20. If it wasn't for the Angels being 10 and 22, I would say you're the worst team in the AL. Honestly, your pitching staffs are competing for the bottom. The pitching's been a joke. The offense has looked good. The problem is, as Xander Bogart said, I think last year, the offense can carry a few runs, but when you're down 6, 7 runs a game, it doesn't really matter how good the offense is. So, yeah, this is it's gross. Going next. Minnesota Twins. Minnesota, they actually flirted with a no-hitter the other night. Kenta Maeda went 8 innings with no-hit ball. Kenta Maeda has looked excellent. This trade has been everything that the Twins could have wanted. They miss out on a bullpen arm in Gratterall, but they needed the ace. They really needed another starting pitcher, and they got Maeda has looked insane. So, and he just put up another win last night against Cleveland. So now he's 4-0 with a 2.21 ERA. He's pitching better than Garrett Cole is currently. He's just been that good. The offense continues to roll. Nelson Cruz continues to defy modern father time. They are in an extremely competitive division with the White Sox and Indians closing in behind them, only a game and a half apiece behind. But this team it's great. And Twins fans should be very happy that they're performing. Going next. Cleveland. The fact that you're still performing this well speaks miles to how good the pitching has been, despite losing 2 starters, Zach Plesac and Mike Clevenger. However, you didn't lose them to injury. Jeremy, I don't know if I told you about this. They lost them because they decided to break COVID protocol and then lie about it.
Dumbasses.
So Zach Plesac's birthday came up and he had a big win in Chicago, I think it was. And so he went out to party with friends. He got caught and they sent them home in a ride share, like an Uber base, like just yeah, fuck you, you don't get to ride in the plane. Mike Clevenger also went out with them, but he didn't. He just let Zach Plesac go out to dry. Didn't go with him. He got on the team plane, and it was on the team plane when they realized Mike Clevenger was with him as well. So not only did Mike Clevenger go out and party when he's not supposed to, he also lied about it and put his teammates at risk. I don't know if you remember, Carlos Carrasco last year, extremely at risk because he's, just had leukemia. Like that, yeah, probably the most selfish, like, act I've seen out of anyone. You probably will see out of anyone on a team for a very long time. They were both pitching so like super well, and they decided to throw it away. And the team voted, I imagine unanimously. I don't know. They didn't say. They just the team voted them to, including Oliver Perez threatening to not to sit out the rest of the season if they let them play. So they are at the alternate site. The team would literally rather not play with them. It's very similar to a situation last year. Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer had a horrible start in Kansas City and yeeted a ball over the center field fence in Kauffman Stadium, and got yelled at by Terry Francona, and then lit the fuck up by Francisco Lindor apparently right after. And then 2 days later, was traded. I highly expect that Clevenger will probably end up traded. I wouldn't be surprised if the Indians try to keep Plesac around because he's got so much control and he is really good. And it's young and stupid, extremely, extremely stupid. But they could end up eking out an extra year out of him, service time wise, because of this. So it's not that I like teams abusing service time, but the fact is he's kind of earned it. It's not because the Indians are trying to. It's
Up the tragedy. The
my
tragedy
mic
when
cut
his
out
mic
despite the
shuts
fact
off.
you were talking to me. I don't get that. That was a tragedy. Anyway, that thing seems to be working out for them. Anyway, what the fuck is this? Okay. Anyway, going next team. White Sox. He just had a huge performance out of Lucas Giolito tonight, throwing the season's first no-hitter. Literally a first inning walk was the difference between this being a no-hitter and a perfect game. Lucas Giolito no-hit these Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, the Pirates may be the worst team, a no-hitter's a no-hitter, and it's ridiculously hard. And so, and apparently, I didn't see the end of it because I decided to take a fat nap for like 4 hours. Adam Engel apparently saved it on the last out, making an insane catch. So good for you. The team is rolling after having a really, really rough, like kind of mediocre start. The call up of Luis Robert and the performances of Jose Abreu and actually really just Luis Robert and Jose Abreu have led this offense, and they've been on fire. They took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. They've swept 4 in a row from Detroit. They swept St. Oh no, they lost 2 to St. Louis actually. Hold on. But they've basically just been looking insanely locked in and have been really, really excellent. Let's see. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, the Tim Anderson of all people, the worst defensive player in the league, I'd say. Like the worst shortstop defensively, best shortstop offensively in the league. Saved the game with a really nice play as well. So yeah. So that anyway, the offense has been absolutely slapping. This team is threatening, and they are now 18-11 and have a real chance at the division, if not a wild card spot. So very exciting times to be a White Sox fan. Kansas City Royals. Yeah, you're kind of in the dumpster of this division. You and Detroit are starting to play like yourselves again. You're getting time for prospects like Brady Singer to get some innings in. Especially you're just letting your prospects play, letting guys perform. I don't know this guy's act like first name, Stomont, has been really, really good for your team. He throws 100 with ease, and he's been lights out. So you're developing prospects, you're developing weapons for the future, and that's important for this team. That's all you really can look for. And that's all well and good. Going next. Tigers, you're playing like yourselves again. You're 12-16. Matt Boyd's horrendous start to the season continues to go. You had Casey Mize called up and made his major league debut against the Chicago Cubs, who promptly scored 4 runs off of him. Obviously, it's not. There's really nothing to read into here. It was his first major league start against one of the best offenses in the league, and really, this is about just getting him time to play, and so getting him to get comfortable at the major league level. Because starting next year, you're going to want him up and turning into a weapon. So I'm not going to say too much of a one start. They did win today behind Spencer Turnbull. Spencer Turnbull continues to deal. He's now 3-2 with a 2.97 ERA. So yeah, that's been the real shining star of this lineup. That's about it. This is the worst team in the AL, 10-22. What did I say before the season started? Do you remember what I said, Jeremy?
Not a clue.
Oh well, okay. I was a little disappointing. Pitching, you have none of it, and it shows. You have Dylan Bundy. Dylan Bundy, who I thought was going to suck, but has actually been pitching like an absolute monster. Is the only pitcher that's worth a damn on this team. This team sucks. It really sucks. And when the offense decides to show up, it's really only been Mike Trout and David Fletcher. Anthony Rendon has had a miserable start to the season. Really, this team, but really, the offense has been okay. The problem is the pitching. The pitching's just not there. There is not a single pitcher worth a damn. And so instead of having all this extra money to spend on pitcher, you spent it all on a third baseman, which you didn't need. Actually, I take back what I said about Anthony Rendon. He's actually woken his bat up. He went from hitting miserably, hitting around the Mendoza line, is now hitting 316. So I'll take that back. But still, you don't need more offense on this team. You need someone who can pitch, and you have no one who can pitch. Like, it's bad. It doesn't help that Shohei Ohtani needs to get more surgery. It's not a good look. This team sucks. Going next. Oakland A's. You continue to lead the West by 4 games. You're 21-10. Keep it up. Fuck the Astros.
Keep it up. Fuck the Astros.
Fuck the Astros. Yeah, pretty much. Their pitching continues to, be good. They have really good offense. They really just an overall solid team. There's really not a single huge weakness for them. Sean Manaea had looked really rough. He had a really good start. He had a good start today against the Rangers. He needs to work on getting his numbers down a bit, but overall, you're getting good performances, and you can't really complain being an Oakland A's fan right now. Going next. Mariners. Yeah. I don't think anyone's surprised to see you're 12-19. I'd say the 12 wins is the biggest surprise there. You've been led by Kyle Lewis, who came in and has raked. He's got lots of power. He's got lots of everything to him. He's performing really well. And Marco Gonzalez continues to be one of the most consistently arms in the game. That's all that can be said. Going next. Rangers. Fuck. Fuck you, Woodward. You decided to throw at the Padres because Fernando Tatis Jr. had the audacity to swing at a 3-0 pitch and hit a grand slam because we were already getting blown out. unwritten rule, and then you proceeded to get a grand slam hit against you in 3 straight games by the Padres after that. The Padres hit 4 grand slams against you in 4 games. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You don't want to get a grand slam hit against you. Learn to pitch, you damn bums. So disappointing. I had like really high hopes for this team, and you haven't performed. Doesn't help that Mike Minor has pitched like, ass. I'm looking at your team. You have Allard, who's pitching to Cody Allard, I think his name is, with a 7.2 ERA, and Jordan Lyles at a 9.25 ERA. Like, oh my god. And I used to feel bad. I used to be really disappointed. I'm disappointed and just mad at you now. Because I'm sorry, anyone who believes in the unwritten rules of baseball needs to leave baseball. So, yeah, I don't feel bad. Go next. Go next. Anyway, Miami Marlins. Okay, you can go back. Yeah, so what do I want to say about you?
The Houston Trastros.
Yeah, that's really it. You guys are back above 500, which doesn't really surprise me because you get to play the Angels, many times a year. You got to play the Rockies, who, despite having a really good team overall, have a horrible pitching staff. Funny enough, you managed to only put up 2 runs against the Rockies in 2 games, which is hilarious. But you still beat them because their offense had to stop working. Yeah, you seem to suck against Oakland as well, which is nice because you need some division opponent to show you some mettle. I hope you dug yourself enough hole that you'll not be winning the division because the AL West is so bad. You are going to go into the postseason. That's really all I have to say about you. Oh, and Jose Altuve was hitting better, which is to be expected. Though it was really nice when he couldn't get it together for a while. And that's about it. Fuck this team. Miami, you continue to be really good. You're 14-11. You are genuinely in second place. It's not like it's a fluke anymore. Don't get me wrong. You're not performing. You were performing at 7-2 last time, and now you're only at 14-11, which is bad. But you've also on a 3-game win streak right now, and you know what? I'm here for it. I want this to happen. I want the Marlins to make the postseason.
5 and
I
5
think
in the
that
last 10, man. 5 and 5 in the last
yeah,
10.
I'd be totally down for it. I think it'd be hilarious if the Phillies managed to fail to make the postseason again. I think it'd be even more hilarious if the Marlins are the ones that be the reason why. Go next. Braves. You're now at the top of the division, as was expected last time. You continue to have like the best. It's not really a competition on the NL East of who has the best lineup. You just need to find more consistency out of your bullpen. But overall, I really wouldn't be too concerned. It's really just overall a really good team. Going next, Phillies. Um, you started off pretty strong. You're 5-5 in your last 10. In spite of Bryce Harper, your pitching staff needs to let you down. Now here's a stat. Through your first 20-some odd games, your bullpen is actually the worst in MLB history. Like, by the numbers, most runs given up, most walks, least strike, like across the board is actually the worst bullpen in MLB history. Now, don't get me wrong, it's through 20-something games, but I think that's still hilarious. I think that's still an incredible feat. It's not what Phillies fans want to hear because, you want something to back up Bryce Harper and Didi Gregorius, but you aren't getting it. Yeah, kind of unfortunate. You also had some pretty big contributions from guys that really flew entirely under the radar. Let me go find a name. Oh, you also just called up Alec Boehm, who in his first career home run and is hitting 324 in his very young career. Phil Gosselin, who you would not expect to be. Honestly, if you asked anyone who the fuck is Phil Gosselin, no one would have a real answer for you. He's hitting 341 to start the season, through the season so far. Yeah, and also Roman Quinn has been really excellent for you guys. So that's about it for you. Offense good, pitching literally some of the worst in history. There you
I'm sorry, man. I
go.
really don't want to talk about the Mets. I'm stalling as much as possible.
Lol. You lost to the Miami Marlins. You're 5-5 over your last 10. Everyone needs to be 5-5 over the last 10. Um,
Law Mets 2.0.
yeah, kind of. It's just more of the same. You just suck. You're not worth talking about. You got swept in a doubleheader by Miami today. Like,
I'm at this point. I'm just convinced Miami's a good baseball team.
no, I am too. Like, it's just it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It definitely helps they don't have to play, anyone in the NL West or most of the teams in the NL Central. But like, they genuinely are performing as a overall just a very cohesive ball club. I thought they would be significantly better than they were last year, but I was expecting this much better. I think this is a 162 game season. I genuinely think this team could, hover around 500. And in a 60 game season, they could genuinely make the postseason. And the Mets just, they're done. They've lost. They've got no. Their rotation is basically toast. You've had to have Robert Gesellman enter the rotation. You still won't let Seth Lugo start, despite his desire to start. So, enjoy Seth Lugo while you got him, because he's not staying on this team if you don't let him start. Um, Edwin Diaz has been looking up, but really overall this team just sucks. Going next,
Poor DeGrom.
Bordergrom. But no, you know what? He chose to sign 5-year extension. Absolutely got shafted on the value of it, because there is no reason why he shouldn't be getting paid types of money that Garrett Cole gets paid. And so instead he gets to suffer through another 3 years after this one with the Mets, and it's his fault.
And then he'll be 35, and you will have missed
I
the
mean,
prime of
listen,
his career.
I think he can end up being like a Max Scherzer, and age won't really matter to him. But like, still, like, it's your 35 is 35. You're not getting another contract like the one you decided to pass on. Just re-sign with the Mets of all teams. Uh, Nationals, yeah. It's not happening.
Depression. Insert depression moment here when
Steven
Steven Strasburg
Strasburg
goes
is
down for the
done
season.
for the season. Your offense is still the oldest in the league. That hasn't changed.
Rip
That's
my
about it.
fantasy team.
It's really it. Sorry, guys. You know what? It sucks that you're not going to really be able to play title defense this year, but you know what? Enjoy it, because for the next 30 some odd games, you get to play. You still say you're the world champions until the next world champion is crowned. You're still the world champion, not Washington Nationals, and no one can take that away from you. And we all still love you for beating the Astros.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing what happened to Strasburg's hand.
No, yeah, it's just like not what you want to see happen. I hope it's a one season issue, and it's on a season that probably wasn't really going their way anyway. So hopefully, he gets all straightened out. But anyway, on to the NL Central. Cubs, Cubbies, you started the pitch like you probably should have, and the pitching's been bad. Um, but your offense has been good enough to keep you into a lot of games. You're 5-5 of your last 10, but you're 18-11 because once again, you're just significantly better than most of the teams and you're better than every other team in the NL Central. The second place St. Louis Cardinals are 10-9. Everyone else is below 500. Milwaukee's been underperforming. Cincinnati's been horribly underperforming. And that's not to say the pitching's that's not to say all is bad. Your rotation's good. You've had still big performance at Alec Mills. You just got Chatwood back, and you just got Jose Quintana back. So Jose Quintana hasn't even started a game yet. So if you're able to move some guys into who are currently in your rotation, who has been performing really well, and move them into the bullpen, that'd be really good for you guys. And you really can't complain. Anthony Rizzo has been having a monster season. I'd say he's number 2 first baseman in the league, behind maybe number 3 behind Jose Abreu and the good old Luke Voigt. He's been performing really well. Chris Bryant did just go on the IL, which is rough, but you have enough offense in there to power a team, and Javi Baez is starting to wake up finally. Go next. Cincinnati. It doesn't seem to matter just how good anyone pitches because your bullpen sucks. and your offense has been anemic at times. Um, you know, guys, Luis Castillo is 0-4 despite a 3.9 ERA. The bullpen, the offense doesn't show up when the bullpen shows up. The bullpen doesn't show up when the offense shows up. It's just frustrating. Yeah, so he hit some record. Yeah, Trevor Bauer has a .68 ERA and only 8 hits allowed over 26 and a third inning. And he's thrown 2 7-inning shutouts because doubleheaders. And yeah. He got the loss yesterday. Sorry, he actually is. His ERA is now an unsightly 1.65 after taking the loss yesterday because no one decided to back him up. And he's hit some record for strikeouts, like 46 strikeouts, like the best through X number of starts in the season. And he's had some banter back and forth with Budweiser on Twitter. But anyway, yeah, this team's just no one's clicking at the right times. This team still has a chance, obviously, but it's not looking good. Going next. Crew. Yeah. So,
You sound excited.
well, it's just like just disappointed. Um, you guys seem to not want to win at home, which is kind of strange. Except until well, I say that, but you've won your past 2 games at home. But like you swept the White Sox away and then lost 2 at home. Just weird. And you lost 2 out of 3 in both your series.
Oh, round 2 of the mic cutting out, despite the fact that I literally just made a comment.
I don't even get what causes my mic to shut off because it's not like you're not talking.
I don't know, man.
This thing just hates me. Anyway, it's just been inconsistent. Kind of similar case to the Reds. The pitching isn't as good as the Reds, but the offense has been. But you guys have clicked in the same spots enough that like it works out for you guys. You have a better offense performance than the Reds. And even though your pitching isn't as good, you've actually got a fairly decent pitching staff as well. It's just about trying to get hot, trying to get everyone going at the same time so that we can string a few more wins together. Because this team can easily threaten the Cardinals. Next, Cardinals. Since coming back, you guys have been playing around 500, which is, what more can you expect off a team coming off of so many weeks of rest and losing so many guys? Paul Goldschmidt has been performing really, really exceptionally since coming back, and that's really one of the main things I said in your video you want in your preseason video that you wanted to see is you want to see Paul Goldschmidt turn out and perform the way he's supposed to, and he has been. And this team has looked good, not insane, but good. And I'm not sure really what this future. The team needs to play more. It needs to. Right now, you're 10 games less than what most teams are at right now. You need more time to really show what you're going to do for the season. Next. You're the worst team in the league. The pitching's atrocious. The offense is atrocious. Everything sucks.
Quick and blunt, I like it.
Yeah, that's really all there's to say. Next, 7-18. Next. Colorado Rockies. You're no longer in first place and you're now below 500 because your offense cannot carry that pitching staff. You get 14 and 15. If you can pitch better, you can honestly have no reason to not make the postseason. Well, actually, you do. The names are the LA Dodgers and San Diego Padres. Charlie Blackmon, who I learned this might be one of the best hitters in the league, and hitting just under a measly 400 for the season. Actually, only hit since the first time in high school in his senior year of college. He was a pitcher. He got injured when he transferred and got injured. So he just knew that his pitching arm was never going to be the same again. So he said, "I'm a hitter. I'm a two-way player." So they let him play the outfield, and he hit so well that they never really questioned it, which is amazing. Anyway, next. Hello, Dodgers. You're 22-8. You're the best team in the league right now. It's everything's clicking. The pitching's good. The offense is good. Some nights you're off, which are the nights you lose, and really, it doesn't really matter when you're 22-8. No, Mookie Betts it doesn't matter that Mookie Betts kind of went through a slump. His defense and base running makes up for it. Everything he does makes up for it. You have Bellinger heating up. Everything's kind of working out. This team is just disgusting. Next, San Diego. You're the only ones who have a chance at even standing up to these guys. You were being led by the young offense of Fernando Tatis Jr., Eric Hosmer, Manny Machado. Manny Machado isn't hitting, the same average-wise, but you're hitting a lot of, he looks more comfortable in the yard. He's hitting better power numbers. Fernando Tatis Jr. proves it doesn't really matter what park you play in because he's currently tied for the Major League lead with 11 home runs. Fuck your manager for not backing up Tatis. I don't care if you disagree. No. Listen, Tatis, so you don't know this. I mentioned it earlier. Tatis was in a 3-0 count. They were up by 7 runs, and he swung on 3-0 and hit a grand slam. Then they threw at his next teammate. I don't care what your reasoning is. You're a manager of a team. If you don't like it and you're an unwritten rules piece of shit, go ahead and be mad at him, but do it in the privacy of your locker room. You do not get out there in front of reporters and say anything to deter against your guy. You go out there and you back him the fuck up. Otherwise, you're a pathetic, spineless coward, and that's what their manager is, a pathetic, spineless coward. He got up there and said, I didn't like it. You do not say that. You back your guy up. I don't give a shit what the fuck he did.
Strong words.
Unless he's like sitting there breaking ankles, I don't want to fucking hear it. They don't want to fucking hear it. So,
strong words.
Fuck you, Tinkler. What?
Strong words.
Yeah, I'm sorry, coward. And then his team responded by hitting 3 more grand slams in the next 3 games. So that was awesome. I literally couldn't. I thought it was crazy enough when he hit a grand slam the next night, and then the night after that they had another, and then the night after that I'm like, no, this is fake. So they actually swept the Astros and the Rangers. And a really awesome Padres fan stood outside of the stadium with a broom and
oh no, not a broom! Oh no!
And swept the Astros out of town as they were leaving in their buses, which was awesome.
The Trastros?
Trastros. So yeah, seems really good. Giants. Well, you have a chance still. You're 14-16. You guys are starting to do things well. You're starting to kind of do offense well, and you're starting to kind of do pitching well. I don't think you're better than San Diego or the Dodgers by a long shot. So, yeah, it's rough. That's all there really is to say. Yeah, and Diamondbacks. Honestly, this team, I think, is better than it's performing. The problem is you don't get to play guys outside the NL West or AL West. Really, your only chances for easy wins are against, Seattle, Texas, and the Angels. But meanwhile, you have to play most of your games against the Dodgers and Padres, Rockies. And even though I feel like this team can hover around 500, I think the problems that are showing that I mentioned, it's just not a deep enough team to compete against the top performers. And even though you are at the bottom of this division, I don't think you're necessarily that bad of a team, but you're not a good team. It's just, it's kind of a. That's it. So, that was a lot. I very much want to just go and read my textbook now and.
He wants to read a textbook. What a nerd.
Oh, I have to. I want to know what I'm doing in class. It's a science class, and if I don't, it's not like it's history. I know history. I can, bullshit my way through a history class. I can't bullshit my way through a science class. Look at the fool.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see y'all I think tomorrow when we talk about the playoffs thus far for the NBA.
Yes,
Jeremy?
sir. That is the plan, and I believe we are gonna have Sai come back if
No,
if the
having Sai
schedule
was
allows
fun.
it. Yeah, definitely added an element. That's for sure.
Made my job a lot easier. I needed to be the direct backup, so it's nice to have two people knowing what they're talking about to be able to bounce off of as opposed to just one.
Make sure to come back tomorrow to hear about the legend, the Harden stopper, Harden clamper, Lou Dort,
Lou Dort.
the legend. Anyways.
Our MVP, J.R. Smith.
Oh, okay. All right. And on that note,
Okay, go check out our social media, our Twitter and Instagram will be linked in below. Go check out our Discord. Go check out our Discord. Go check out our Discord. That's really it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you're an Astros fan, I don't know why you're watching this video.
why do you got what? Hold on. What?
Well,
What
listen,
if they're an
there are two
Astro?
types
What
of.
if they're an Astros fan that doesn't support what the team did, but they're a ride or die fan, so they've got to back their team, but they don't support what they did?
That's one thing. Oh, you know what I will say about the Astros? Zach Greinke. I love watching Zach Greinke. Zach Greinke is just. It's just like he's amazing. And watching him pitch, there was a really awesome moment in San Diego when he was pitching, and they had to clear off like the mound needed to be cleaned, and so this is a picture of him sitting behind the mound watching the grounds crew. Everyone else is just standing and like talking to each other, and he's just sitting behind the mound, just watching. Just that, and he also has the greatest quote of all time, which I'm gonna pull up right now because I have it saved on my phone. It's so good. On the topic and just because I get to talk about Zach Greinke, back in 2014 he was on the Dodgers. They were hella up in the division, but they had lost 8 in a row. And so they're like, all right, guys, let's get together. And then they said Greinke wants to say something. They're all freaking out because like Greinke, he's got I don't remember exactly, he's got a problems with anxiety and like basically speaking up. And so everyone's like taking this really seriously, kind of like, holy shit, Greinke's gonna say something. He gets up there. Yeah, I've been in the bathroom, and some of you are taking a number 2 and not washing your hands. I think that's fucking disgusting. So if you could do that, that'd be great. Sits down. That's it. Like that was the whole like you're here to have a team meeting about you're losing, and that's what he comes up and says, which I think is hilarious. But anyway, I'll leave you all with this quote from Zach Greinke. Uh, this is on the guacamole at Chipotle. I like the guacamole. Now, I don't really love the guacamole, so I get it when I feel like it. They changed their guacamole from 150 to 180. I mean, 150 is already pretty darn high, so they changed it to 180, and I'll never again get guacamole. It's not about the guacamole itself. I just don't want to let them win.
Interesting.
That was in the playoffs too that he made this quote, which is like, yeah, just like easily the greatest interview question. I don't know what the fuck he was asked, but
Listen, man. Sometimes you just gotta rep the set. You know what I'm saying? You see something wrong. Sometimes you just gotta call it out for what it is. Some fucking bullshit.
it's like you're the yeah, I don't even know what to say.
We're limping to the end here. Wrap it up.
Yeah, so that's it. I'll leave you with that quote. Not that I don't want Houston Astros fans to watch these videos, but you feel I'm being too harsh on them. I don't care. They deserve it, and any true baseball fan knows they deserve it. That's what I have to say. Have a great one. We'll see y'all next time. I imagine we'll do another one of these in about 15 games when we get to the final playoff push. And that's about it. Have a great night.